While the public is still buzzing with rumors of a romance between Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan, another shocking news has recently caused a stir in public opinion. According to fictional sources from behind the scenes, the already fragile relationship between the two 50 Shades stars has officially fallen into a state of crisis when the two suddenly had a fierce conflict. Fire tense climax. A heated argument is said to have broken out during a private meeting. No one expected that from small disagreements, Dakota and Jamie would let things get out of control. The back and forth words, the cold eyes, and there was even information that the two could not control their emotions and made foolish decisions, making the crew and their relatives extremely worried. Heartbreak when trust is broken. Dakota Johnson is known for being strong and straightforward, while Jamie Dornan has a reserved and sometimes unpredictable personality. This difference, which once helped them create a strange attraction on screen, has now become a big barrier. Rumors say that Jamie accidentally hurt Dakota's self-esteem, causing the actress to be unable to control her emotions. A fictional insider shared. They were not only colleagues, but also considered each other as confidants. But when trust was broken, both chose to react in an extreme way instead of sitting calmly. High-voltage public opinion was shocked. The incident spread quickly, leaving fans shocked and disappointed. Many people are worried that if not controlled in time, this incident could have unpredictable consequences, not only affecting personal reputation but also affecting future film projects. On social media, a series of comments were left. They used to be symbols of harmony, but now they have become bitter rivals. Both Dakota and Jamie are hurting themselves. Crescent moon open ending or the beginning of a tragedy? No one knows what will happen next. Is this just a temporary shock in a complicated relationship, or a turning point that completely ends the image of the on-screen couple that once captivated the world? One thing is for sure, this big shock will continue to haunt the audience and be a hot topic for a long time. Tornado shocking aftermath. When Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan faced a wave of public opinion. If the sudden conflict between Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan shocked the audience, the developments that followed made public opinion even more stormy. The incident did not stop at a personal conflict, but quickly turned into a media storm, dragging both of them into a spiral of criticism and speculation. High-voltage career shaken. Immediately after the news broke, film producers, advertising partners and the media were all worried. A fictional behind-the-scenes source revealed that some important film projects that Dakota and Jamie participated in could be severely affected. Dakota Johnson was at her peak with many independent projects, but the image of a strong goddess was now overshadowed by the image of a hot-tempered, out-of-control person. Jamie Dornan, who was once praised for his composure, is now accused of adding fuel to the fire, making the public doubt his professionalism. An anonymous director also commented, "If they don't resolve it soon, it will be difficult for the audience to continue to believe in their on-screen chemistry." Heartbreak hurt in the hearts of fans. Fans of this couple are divided into two opposing camps. One side sided with Dakota, claiming that she was just the victim in the argument, while the other side believes that Jamie was the one who was misunderstood. This splitting has caused social media to become chaotic with thousands of harsh comments every day. One comment that caught attention on a fictional Twitter read, "They were the reason I believed in beautiful on-screen chemistry. Now it's all just an illusion. Crescent moon when silence is no longer an option." At first, both Dakota and Jamie chose to remain silent, but public pressure and media pressure forced them to consider speaking up. Rumors say that both managers are rushing to plan a crisis response, including a press conference or official statement to calm the situation. But will the explanations be enough to erase the rift that is so obvious in the public eye? Crystal ball. The future is uncertain. Although the two once created a silver screen icon that captivated millions, after this shock, no one is sure where the future will go. Will there be a reunion to heal, or is it all just the beginning of a long-term tragedy where both Dakota and Jamie have to walk their separate paths? One thing is for sure, the public will not leave them alone until the truth is finally revealed. Mike 10's press conference. Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan face the press for the first time. After many days of silence, Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan finally appeared publicly in an emergency press conference. The press conference was held at a luxury hotel in Los Angeles, but the atmosphere was so heavy and tense that it could be cut into pieces. High voltage. The light shines on the truth. As soon as the two entered the auditorium, hundreds of camera lenses immediately flashed continuously. Dakota wore a dark suit, a cold face and determined eyes. Meanwhile, Jamie appeared tired, with messy hair as if he had not prepared. The atmosphere was silent, before Dakota suddenly spoke. "I don't want to lie or hide anymore. The conflict between Jamie and I is real. We said and did things that we shouldn't have. Things that I will never be proud of." Heartbreak. Jamie Dornan's unexpected reaction. Immediately after Dakota's statement, Jamie bowed his head for a long time before looking up, his voice hoarse. "I am not perfect either. I let my emotions overwhelm me, making things worse. But please understand, we were friends, companions. And I never wanted to hurt Dakota." The appearance of tears in his eyes made the whole room stir. Fire. The press pressed. A series of questions from reporters rang out. Is the conflict related to personal love affairs? Will you two continue to cooperate in upcoming film projects? Is it true that you two have taken extreme actions to react to each other? Dakota lost her composure for a moment, her hands gripping the microphone tightly. Meanwhile, Jamie was silent, avoiding direct eye contact with the press. Crescent moon. Ambiguous promise. Finally, the two released a joint statement. "We need time to reflect, to heal, and to find balance. This is not the end, but just a challenging chapter. We hope the public will give us the space we need." Those words seemed to be both an apology and a smokescreen to hide things that have not been revealed. Crystal ball. The end or the beginning of a new tragedy? The press conference ended in a series of flashbulbs. Although both spoke out, instead of calming public opinion, the press conference raised more questions. The media began to speculate. Was this an effort to save their image, or simply a farewell covered in ambiguous words? One thing is clear, the Dakota Johnson, Jamie Dornan story will not end soon. It was both a tragic drama and a mystery that had the whole world watching. Fire. Behind the scenes revealed. The shocking secret behind the conflict between Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan. After the shocking press conference, it was thought that everything would calm down, but in reality, the opposite was true. Many behind-the-scenes sources began to release a series of shocking information, revealing the real reason why Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan broke out in conflict, something that neither of them dared to admit to the public. High voltage. The problem does not stop at friendship. According to some close sources, the relationship between Dakota and Jamie has long exceeded the boundary of co-stars. It was the close bond on set, along with private moments that lasted for many years, that caused the two to gradually fall into a complex, difficult to define bond. A fictional crew member revealed. They are so close that they can no longer keep a safe distance. They both know it, but they don't have the courage to name this relationship. Heartbreak. The appearance of a third shadow. Things became more complicated when Amelia Warner, Jamie's wife, was said to have discovered many unusual signs. This suspicion was like a fuse, causing Jamie and Dakota to be extremely tense. A leaked private conversation, according to rumors, showed that Dakota felt taken advantage of, while Jamie felt misunderstood. From here, impulsive and foolish actions began to occur. Tornado pressure from fame. Not only personal feelings, but also career played a big role in this conflict. Dakota was accused of feeling overshadowed by Jamie in many projects, while Jamie was upset because he was always associated with Dakota, instead of being recognized independently. A producer who has worked with both of them shared, "Both Dakota and Jamie are bright stars, but their on-screen chemistry has unintentionally turned into a shackle. They both need each other and want to escape from each other." Fire the hidden truth. What is even more frightening is the rumor that in a moment of loss of control, both of them made extreme decisions to cut off this bond. Some people say they once signed a secret agreement to no longer be involved with each other after a final project. But is that true, or just a product of the media's imagination? Crescent Moon. The tragedy has no end. While the public is still talking about the leaked secrets, Dakota and Jamie continue to keep silent, making everything even more ambiguous. Fans were both heartbroken and curious. Is this just a tragedy of fame, where love, career and fame collide, creating an irreparable rift? One critic concluded, "The Dakota-Jamie story is now not just entertainment news, but has become a symbol of the price of fame."